Yes, Neville taught visualizing your desired reality. Yes, he taught assuming the wish fulfilled. And of course, he taught living in the end. But there's one part I see so many people missing and skipping over and really, actually, subconsciously avoiding. And it's the reason you're still waiting, still checking 3D, still wondering why your manifestation feels slow, inconsistent, or even stuck. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you've been missing. The part of Neville's teachings that changes everything once you finally get it. If you're new here, hello, I am your muse Tracy. On this channel, I teach manifestation the Neville Goddard way. I help you peel back the false layers of programming so you can embody your true power. The power that's been there all along, it's never actually gone anywhere. And once you reconnect with that power, it allows you to create the life you've always desired effortlessly. So let's get right into it. Here's the truth that almost everyone is missing. Most people do Neville's teachings as a technique. Most people think it's about visualizing, but they're not addressing the foundation of what he actually taught. They visualize like it's a magical spell that will magically change everything out there. They affirm like they're placing an order with the universe and hope the universe will deliver. Someone will bestow their, desires upon them if they're good enough. They assume the wish fulfilled like they're trying to convince something out there. But none of this will get you actual results. None of it. Sorry, none of it will. If you're doing these techniques while still believing you are a powerless human hoping something magical happens out there. This is it. This is the missing piece. So there is a fundamental disconnect in this way of thinking that will quietly and subconsciously sabotage, erase, take away all of your results. Neville's real teachings weren't actually about the techniques. He was teaching a more fundamental truth. What was he teaching? That your imagination is God. Your own wonderful human imagination is God. And it's this very foundation that I see so many people missing or in fact avoiding. They use their imagination, but they don't believe in the power of their imagination the way Neville was teaching it. They do the work, but they don't step into the identity of the one who creates with the work. They visualize as a person trying to manifest magically instead of a God deciding what they now choose to experience. And this difference is huge, as I'm sure you can tell. It literally changes everything. Let me say this clearly. If you visualize as someone who thinks their imagination is just mental pictures, you will not get the results that Neville describes and tells about in his own experiences. If you affirm as someone who believes they're trying to make something happen, you will keep experiencing more situations that keep you trying to make something happen. If you live in the end as a technique instead of your natural identity, you will keep forcing, keep doubting, and keep checking to see if it worked, while simultaneously living in the end of missing, not having, lacking your desires. Because subconsciously, you don't believe you are the source. You still believe there's a world outside of you deciding whether you're worthy, whether you get to have it or not, whether the time is right or not. So many things, right? But you don't think that your decision, your choice is powerful enough to bring it about. You don't. If you're being honest with yourself, you probably don't. And this whole thing takes truth. You have to truly know yourself. You have to truly understand yourself. You have to be willing to look at what am I really doing? If you don't know, if you're not willing to look at it, you're hoping, you're wishing. And I can identify with this because I used to do that. I didn't know what I didn't know, So let's continue. So you still believe there's a world outside of you deciding whether you're worthy. And you still believe in this place You still live in this place of hoping, wishing, but never truly believing and trusting in the full faith of your imagination. Or, like I said a minute ago, even more powerfully, the full faith in your decision, in your choice, in your preference, knowing that that's enough. It truly is enough. The hidden piece, the piece that everyone seems to avoid, is this. I said it, but I'm going to say it even more clearly here now. You must integrate and operate from the knowing that your imagination is God, and that there is nothing else at all going on here. Nothing else asserting or creating in your reality. It's just that simple. Not metaphorically, not energetically, not sometimes, but actually, literally, this is all that's going on. Your imagination is not a tool given to you. It is the Creator expressing through you. When you really integrate this, something wild happens. You stop visualizing to get. You start visualizing because you know that that's what creates reality. You don't hope, you don't think it's magic, you're not wishing, you know that this is what creates. You stop affirming as a wish, you affirm as a statement of decision and declaration. You stop checking 3D, you start knowing the 3D is following you. And if it hasn't caught up yet, today, it will. And you're not even concerned with when, because when you're concerned with when, that's doubt. And from this place that I'm describing, there is no more doubt. You might have moments or flashes. That's normal, but you don't get swept away by them. You know exactly what to do with the doubt when it arises. So this is the shift Neville called the great secret. It's not the technique, but the identity of the one who knows their true power as the one and only source. But then why do so many people avoid this key piece? Why? Well, let's talk about it. Why do they keep doing the easy parts of Neville's teachings, but avoid the part that actually gives them power? And again, I say this from personal experience. I also see this time and time again with my one-on-one clients, and this is exactly the work I do with my clients in my one-on-one coaching program. We work together to peel back the false layers of programming, the programming that says it's wrong to claim this power within yourself. It's blasphemous to claim that you are the source of your reality, and other programming too that is blocking this and resisting this. You can check out the link in the description below. There's a link also to book a free consultation with me in the pinned comment. So yes, back to the biggest blocks that I see with my clients. They tend to encounter that feeling, on some level that it's wrong to believe your imagination is God. I definitely was taught as a child, like, oh, don't think that you're God, that's blasphemous. And, this can be because of many different reasons. The conditioning, as I mentioned, but it can also be deep down that you fear that what if all of this is too good to be true? What if I'm not this powerful? What if I'm just fooling myself? So it can be this belief that it's wrong, but it can also just be this fear that you don't trust this just yet. You don't trust yourself to be the creator. And it does take some time. It takes a conscious decision that this is truth. But then even once you make that conscious decision, you have to integrate the belief system. These types of belief systems take time, especially when you've probably lived your whole life thinking that the world is just happening around you. And not only that, but most probably, I'm just guessing here, everyone around you is operating from this programming as well, right? So it can take work to change this belief system. It doesn't happen with the flick of a switch, at least not for most people. It didn't for me, and what I see with most of my clients, it doesn't as well. It takes consistency and choosing it and knowing that you get to choose it though. That's the trick. Know that you get to choose that this is how it works for you now. This is how it works. You are the creator of your reality. So it's normal to struggle with this, but it can't be denied and it can't be suppressed and not looked at, right? We can't just skip over this part, or we continue to fail. You continue to do all the techniques that I've been describing and that Neville described, but you don't get any results and you wonder why. It's not because your desire isn't for you. It's not because there's something you can't have. It's because you have missed the most important part. Your very power to manifest consciously is equivalent to your conviction. In other words, you have to know that you have this power in order to use this power. You have to accept that you have this power. You have to decide and have the conviction. Your power to manifest consciously is equivalent to your conviction. So check in with your conviction. How is it? Is it shaky? Is it rocky? Is it non-existent? Again, just be honest with yourself so that you know where you're starting and you know where you want to go. You have to know where you're starting to know how to get to where you want to go. So in shifting these deeper beliefs, you will automatically stop blaming the outer world. You will stop living in this place where you're a victim to circumstances. You'll stop feeling safe in your own limitations. That's a big one. So you stop pretending that you're powerless when you're actually the most powerful thing in the universe, pretending not to be. Claiming that imagination is God means that you're also claiming, I am the cause. I am the operant power. I am the creator. I am the one generating every reflection or echo. I am the one projecting the 3D reality. I am the one responsible for who I'm being. I am the one shaping every experience through the meanings that I project onto my circumstances. So now this level of responsibility feels terrifying, absolutely terrifying to the ego. Because once you know you are the cause, you stop hiding behind the illusions, and so the illusions have to dissolve. But the truth is, this isn't about blame, it's about your freedom and your empowerment. That has to be most important to you so that you can break out of these limitations. But you can't have it both ways. You've got to choose. You've got to commit to your choice. It's either you're the victim of circumstances or you're the powerful creator. You can't have both. You've got to choose one and commit to one. And when you commit to being the creator of your reality, this means that nothing is too big, nothing is off limits, and nothing is left up to chance. It means you're not waiting for anything to show up. You're creating through your assumption, through your consciousness. So here's the real meat of the video, if we haven't been there already. How do you shift from I'm trying, and actually I would say it's more like I'm hoping. Most people are stuck in hoping. There's not a lot of power in hoping. So I'm trying or I'm hoping to manifest. How do we shift from that to I am the one and only cause? So let me give you the exact steps. And today we have 5. I'm keeping you guys guessing. So step number 1, stop doing techniques as a trying energy behind it. Stop doing it from this place of like, I'm going to try to manifest. So you're not performing to get a result. You're not asking the universe. You're not sending out a signal. You're deciding, you're choosing, you're claiming, and you're realigning yourself. That's what the techniques are for. Every technique begins or should begin now with this knowing that I am the source and with the intention to create inner alignment and remembrance not to change out there. Step number 2, you visualize from the identity. Stop visualizing like you're daydreaming. This is very different. Visualizing and daydreaming are very different. You visualize like you are commanding, because you are. Neville said you think from it, the desire, not of it. When you visualize from the identity, that is commanding, that is creating. And the 3D is going to follow because it's always following you. And again, I'm going to repeat here, your power is equivalent to your conviction about your power. Step number 3, speak as the creator, not the seeker. Your affirmations have to come from this place of I am, not I hope. There's no power in hoping. And you can feel the difference when you shift. Step number 4, practice the knowing. Practice noticing if you're hoping, if you're still wishing, or if you're more in the space of knowing. Awareness is so key. We have to know where we are to know what to shift. We can't change what we can't see. So your entire day then becomes a practice of one thing, shifting your identity back into being the operant power. You're not forcing, you're not controlling, you're not lacking, you're not wishing. You're just deciding. You just keep deciding and keep choosing. Step number 5, and maybe the most important step, is you stop looking at the 3D as fact. We stop arguing with the 3D, we stop checking it, we stop analyzing it. You stop doing anything with it and just literally start to see your 3D as an echo. That's really the only explanation you need to give to your 3D reality ever. It's an echo. It's my past assumptions showing up right now. The less you give your attention, the less you solidify it and you hold it in place. So give your attention to your desired end. Your attention needs to be placed on your desired end, regardless of if it has manifested yet or not. And this isn't delusion, this is creation. This is how you create. So I cannot stress this enough. When you know who you are, this isn't about being delusional. It's about choosing and placing your attention on what you want to bring into your experience, because that's how this works. Neville taught the outer world reflects the inner. So your job isn't to argue and fix the echo. Let it be. Let it be. Remove your attention from it if it's not what you want. And you go within. Change your assumption. Because as within, so without. You go within, change the assumption. It's going to get reflected as long as you stay consistent. So once this truth drops in, and again, it may take some practice, it may take some work. That's okay. Let it. Once it becomes your lived identity, you realize something profound. You were never actually trying to make anything happen. You were always just choosing. This has always been the way that it works. You were always selecting. I'm sure some of you, with smaller things that you didn't try so hard to manifest, you can relate to this. Like it was just a decision. You just knew. And guess what happened? So this is how it works with all the things. It's just things that we care about, we think we need, we've placed our happiness on. We got programming in the way, and that's why we have to work on the programming. Otherwise, everything would just be as easy as these things that you naturally just decided on, and then they manifested. So you realize that you were never hoping, you were always just choosing. And the only thing that changed was your awareness of who you really are. So you can start to do this with the things that you care more about because you have this realization of who you are. You've integrated this knowing about who you are, the creator of your reality. So your imagination isn't a tool. You don't look at it as a tool anymore. And it's not a trick. It's not magic. It's not a manifestation technique. It is the operant power. It is the creator in you. It is God expressing through you. So this is the part that everyone misses. The most important part. How could we miss it? This is the part that Neville centered his entire teachings on. This is the part that collapses timelines for you. It dissolves effort and makes manifestation effortless. Of course, as it's meant to be. If you're ready to stop doing techniques from this wrong identity, the identity of hoping, and actually integrate the state Neville taught from, this is where your entire life really can shift and change. When you shift into the identity of being that creator and you hold that conviction, the 3D has no choice. And if you want my help integrating this at the deepest level, in a way that rewires your subconscious blueprint and anchors you into this God state, I invite you to work with me inside of my 1-month transformative coaching program. It is designed to do exactly this, to help you peel back the false layers about who you thought you were and to step into the identity that creates effortlessly. You can find the link in the description. The link takes you to my website. You can read all about the program there. And there's also a link in the pinned comment if you want to book a free consultation with me. I'm offering this for a limited time to answer any questions you have about the program or about working with me. And I'm just offering it for a limited time. So click the link, book the call. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.